Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of CCW Insider. I'm your CCW correspondent, Tyler Cashmere, here joined, like always, with Elise Almeida, the one that gets it done when it comes to ring announcing. Elise, we're coming off our doubleheader weekend up there in Kissimmee and Tampa. Two amazing matches. When you think about the weekend up and down, it was really unbelievable. But the two matches that stand out the most at Concord Kissimmee, Chris Farrow taking on Rich Swann, and then at Havoc and Hayes, that crazy dog collar match, bloody, emotional, the dog collar match between David Mercury and Eddie. I mean, just unbelievable weekend.
I'm sad that I missed all this. I mean, is there a non-bloody dog collar match though? Like, I wish I was there.
Yeah, no, there definitely is not a not bloody dog collar match, but this one, just the emotions you could tell just through the roof, really, with all the years that those two have known each other for so long. And finally, for David Mercury to get that big win that he's been looking for so long. And it kind of feels like maybe that the hatchet is buried a little bit between those two, but we'll have to see. You never know. There's
We'll see.
so much animosity between them. But after such a match like that, it's interesting to see where both of those guys are going to go. And then after, Rich Swann making multiple appearances here in the last territory, where are we going to see him at? He's racking up good wins too. Maybe he's thinking cruiserweight championship or heavyweight championship, whatever championship he wants. I'm sure the CCW booking committee, I'm sure they will work on that match to get it for him. And then Chris Farrow, what an amazing showing for him. Didn't get the win, but man, he was just so close.
Chris Farrow's never had a bad match. Let's just be honest. Banger after banger after banger for Chris Farrow. So better luck next time, but very happy to see Rich Swann in the last territory.
Absolutely. And look at that. You're not the only one, because Ezra in the chat saying, right, it was awesome at Old Town. Then we got Rock Pop saying, I have arrived. Oh, well, since Rock Pops has arrived, we can finally get the show going.
We can get started now.
So, of course, there's so much to talk about, like always in the last territory, especially when we have those doubleheader weekends like we always do. But we got to keep it going, because we're actually going into another doubleheader weekend, one we're not really familiar with, but we have a really special show to talk about towards the end. But we'll get into our mainstay show, because it is time for one of my favorite shows of the month. Always look forward to this one. Love the venue. The energy is just always different, because it is time for this Saturday, Rumble in the Jungle 10. Lisa, can you believe it? We're already at 10 at Rumble in the Jungle. It has been a mainstay. It's one of the craziest wrestling shows you can ever go to. There's been so many moments that have happened already at Tripping Animals Doral, at Rumble in the Jungle. Now we're going to keep it going Saturday, November 16th for Rumble in the Jungle 10. And this is not only special for us, this is special for Tripping Animals that are celebrating their anniversary. They're going to be having a huge party there. So this is going to just be a party environment, big party atmosphere. And let's get this party started, Lacey, with some tag team action, as the Crown will be taking on the Raw Dogs in Fer Rojas and Elliot Crow. Now, the Raw Dogs, we know they got a lot of bark. We always hear from the Raw Dogs, but they kind of been quiet ever since last month, where Big Boom AJ and Big Justice kind of shut them up a little bit, especially with Fer Rojas getting that quickest loss in CCW history to Meadow in the same night. But now this is a chance for the Raw Dogs, try to regroup themselves, get things back on track. But now you got to face the Crown, which we already talked about last week, is back on their winning ways. They were victorious as well last week. So now the Crown is on a momentum streak. They got wins under their belt. Can the Raw Dogs try to throw a wrench in there? It's not looking like it, Lisa.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, right? Like you said, the Raw Dogs, they're kind of in a little bit of a lull right now. I mean, getting speared by a child is probably not the highlight of anyone's life. Let's just be very honest. Well, actually, maybe it was the highlight of Pharaoh Haas's life. I don't know. But yeah, this is definitely one of those make it or break it type of matches. The Raw Dogs definitely need a win, especially in the same venue last month. Just the outcome that they suffered last month. I really think that they need a win, but unfortunately for them, they're coming up against the Crown this weekend, and the Crown, they're hungry as ever. They want their championship titles back, and they're going to go through every single opponent until they get it.
Yeah, and it seems like they're doing exactly that, taking on all challengers. We saw that Bash of the Brood beginning of this month. It was the team of the new Knight Riders, Marvin Cruz and Eddie Valentine. They tried stepping up to the Crown. They got put down. Then the Crown go into Tampa and go into Kissimmee. They get wins there. And now it is time for the Crown to walk into the Doral and do what they do best at tripping animals and get their hands raised by the end of the night. And we got the chat popping off right now. Rock Pops is so excited for this. I mean, you always got to be excited for Rumble in the Jungle. It's just different feeling in the air every time you're there in Tripping Animals. He said Kissimmee was fire. Say skipping Homecoming for this is going to be worth it. That's how the last territory is. He's skipping Homecoming to go see the Crown, take out the Raw Dogs, and try to get back into championship contention. This is what Rumble in the Jungle means to the CCW faithful. But not only the CCW faithful, because we also got Frank the Clown in the chat saying that he has not returned to Doral until Lisi is back there.
Frank, you gotta wait on that one, brother. But
yeah,
I think you'll be okay. Actually, you might not want to return to Doral because Skits might be there.
Yeah, the last time we were in Doral, Frank was there. Skits was there, and I never saw a clown move so fast. Like Frank the Clown was at commentary with me. Skits music hits, and he's in the front row of the fans, like hiding behind fans. It's actually pretty impressive how fast he was moving. Said the last time Frank the Clown was in Doral, he had to do commentary with Tyler. It was one of the most miserable experiences of my 34 years on this planet. Well, it's actually very fitting because it was my most miserable experience on commentary, having Frank the Clown there. Really ruined the momentum with me and Dan.
Oh, wow.
You know, really just a downer. I mean, you could go and watch it on a live wrestling, just hearing him. He wasn't feeling the boom. He wasn't a fan of Big Justice and Big Boom AJ. He really liked Pretty Rich Wise. I mean, that's a red flag in its own. And
say less.
So yeah, and then he kept up wanting to beat up Big Justice. He wanted to beat up a child. I had to deal with this on commentary.
What is this? What is going on? Like, okay, I've been noticing this. I saw Frank post something else in the week. What is going on? Multiple children wanting to beat you up is not. It's just like you said, T. Red flags.
Red flags everywhere when it comes to Frank the Clown. I'm sure down the road he's going to be back down here looking to do commentary, and I just can't wait for it. Lisi, Rock Pop saying, "Why is Frank so negative? It's Rumble in the Jungle." That's what we're saying. You can't be negative when Rumble in the Jungle's around the corner. It's just excitement in the air. How could one be sad about that? Everyone going after Frank the Clown in the chat. But we got to keep this one going. Frank the Clown trying to hog up all the spotlight like Frank the Clown does. But can't do it here because it is CCW Cruiserweight Championship. Speaking of Frank the Clown, another one that Frank the Clown ran away from was Ozzy Killmeister, a good friend of Skits. As Ozzy, he successfully defended his championship at Rumble in the Jungle last month. Now he must do it again against the performer, Oscar Weiss. Now, these two are completely polar opposites. I mean, you got the most metalhead in all professional wrestling, Ozzy Killmeister, loves moshing. Like you see him, like if you're at a local metal band or you go to a metal festival, Ozzy's there, like moshing away, like joke. Just look at the man. He has mosh tattooed on him. He lives and breathes heavy metal and really carries that on his shoulder and like really wears that with a badge of honor. Then you got Oscar Weiss, the performer, a little bit more elegant, indulges in the opera and likes sitting down for plays and going to a fancy dinner. Very,
He's
very
been known
opera.
to do a little. He's been known to do a little dance or two as
Right.
well. Well, I've
He,
seen it.
he likes doing these dances in the ring, and we're not talking about cha-chaing or anything like that. No, it's very performance. He's the performer. Uh,
Very, I don't know. It's hard to explain. He's doing some movements though. It's
he
I do not recommend. Don't try it at
he
home.
Oscar Weiss does movements that you can interpret as dancing. But dancing all aside and heavy metal all aside, these two may be polar opposites, but Oscar Weiss is a fundamentally sound professional wrestler. We've been seeing him in the last territory, getting his
Mhm.
reps in. Any opportunity that he can get, he takes advantage of it, Lisi. I mean, whether it's pre-shows, whether it's battle royals, anything he can get into the last territory, he does. And his dancing might not be that impressive, but his in-ring skills sure are. And you have to think, if they're both on the same playing field, right? Both neutral site, both healthy going into this match, got to give the credit all the way to Ozzy Killmeister, right? I mean, Ozzy he has the experience advantage. He's on a roll, momentum, everything like that. But Ozzy is on his 20th title defense now, either the 19th or 20th. He has never missed a show, it feels like, this whole year. How much banged up and battered and bruised can Ozzy be going into this one? Or maybe Oscar Weiss takes advantage? Or do you think that Ozzy's just going to keep rolling with the punches like he always does, hit a whiplash and get that 1, 2, 3?
I think it's really important how you mentioned Ozzy's lifestyle, right? Like you said, he has mosh it's written on him. And I think that's kind of a reminder for like, if you ever see the moshing, if you've ever been in a mosh pit in your life, I'm getting out of there if I get thrown in there, by the way. But you just roll with it. You don't know who's coming, who's going. You just take the hits, you enjoy it, and you come out better. And I think that Ozzy really lives that way inside and outside of the ring. So going in there with someone who's going to be doing his little 1-2 step Oscar, I think that the mosh is going to prevail this weekend, and Ozzy's going to retain.
Yeah, and
He's unstoppable at this point, Tyler.
it
Let's just call
if
it what it is.
it
It
feels
feels
like
that
that,
way.
he's on such a wave of momentum. But there's some distractions around Ozzy right now. We have to look at, he released that our backstage crew caught up with him and Skits after Havoc and Hayes and Kissimmee, and really there's something going on there with him and Skits. A little bit of miscommunication, which cost them
Hmm.
those tag team titles. You got Agony that's coming out interfering in Ozzy's matches when Ozzy looks like he definitely does not want anyone interfering in his matches. And so you have to think, are maybe these outside distractions something to keep in mind? But I think right now, like you said, Ozzy is on this momentum that you can have all the distractions in the world. You can be in there against a performer who's doing his 1-2 step and is smooth in that ring. But I think right now it just doesn't matter for Ozzy Killmeister. I think he's going to mosh his way to a victory. I think all of Tripping Animals is going to be moshing right along with him. We got the chat going off here. Ezra saying, I think I've seen this situation before. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's a little
Seems
reminiscent.
familiar.
It seems familiar. I'm sure Ozzy knows familiar, and Ozzy's going to do everything he can to keep it, keep his mind straight, keep his eye on the prize, and stay clear of any distractions whatsoever. Rock Pop saying we've seen Ozzy beat some tough opponents, so it should be good. It definitely should. And I think this is going to be a great opportunity for Oscar Weiss to get highlighted and really for Oscar Weiss to get tested and see what he can do in that ring against somebody the caliber of Ozzy Killmeister. Win or lose, people are going to know what Oscar Weiss is about after this one.
There you
And
go.
now I saw this singles match, and every time you see these two's names next to each other, it's just going to be
Oh,
absolutely hard-hitting insanity as Jackal Stevens takes on Stallion Rogers in one-on-one action. And now we go back to it like we've been talking about these past couple weeks. I feel like ever since Jackal has lost that Southeastern Championship, Jackal is looking for that win. He's getting put in all the right spots, all the right opportunities, but it seems like one little thing here, one little misstep there, and Jackal has been losing. Can Jackal finally get this win? And what a huge win it would be against Stallion Rogers. But then you look at Stallion, and the shoe is completely on the opposite foot here, Lacey, because I feel like Stallion, I mean, we saw him stare down Meadow after Bash at the Brew backstage, and he's got his eyes on that heavyweight championship, and he's got a resume to prove it, because it just feels like he keeps just getting wins after wins, and he's already shown that he's championship material, winning the tag team championships with Danny Briggs. So do you think this is just another way Stallion gets to that heavyweight championship, or do you think Jackal can finally climb this mountain and get that win back?
Well, we know that Jackal has been on a warpath. These last couple months have been very personal for him, right? We've seen it. He's hungry, he wants it. He's a different Jackal. Like, even when you see him in the dressing room, backstage, whatever, before he was a happy guy smiling. There's no smiles anymore. He's all business now. And same thing for in the ring. And as you said, he's climbing that mountain. But the mountain this weekend is Stallion Rogers. And you've already, saying all his accolades. He really is. I can't tell you the last time that I recall him even losing in singles competition. So this is definitely going to be, number one, a hard hitting match. We know that Stallion Rogers always brings the chops. We know he always brings the big hits. And I think that this is going to be Jackal's toughest opponent to date. So good luck, Jackal. But I think that Stallion is he's on it. He's getting ready for Meadow. Nothing's stopping him right now.
And usually I'd be like, this is a 50-50. I would lean towards Jackal, because Jackal is CCW through and through.
Of course.
Man, like you said, this is a different Jackal, and I think the smart money has to be with Stallion Rogers getting the victory here, and then us down the road seeing that eventual Meadow versus Stallion Rogers match, which is a crazy thing to think about, of even underestimating Jackal Stevens, but Jackal's got to prove it back to us now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a really interesting time in the last territory. Everything is getting shaken up here a little bit, and the foundations are moving a little bit. You're starting to see different people coming up, different people coming in.
It's different. Things have shaken up so much. Can we just say, even when you just look at the posters and the flyers for every show, you're seeing different faces on there. There really is a really big shift going on right now, and I'm glad you're noticing it as well, Tyler.
It's an exciting time to be a part of Last Territory. Gotta stay up. Gotta be up to date. Gotta follow us on everything. You gotta tune into Alive Wrestling every Tuesday. You gotta follow us here on Insider every Wednesday. Gotta keep up with our socials. Last Territory. We got so many shows. It keeps on changing. New stars are being created. And speaking of new stars, let's talk about Dream Girl Ellie making her Last Territory debut against Ruthie J. Now, Dream Girl Ellie is no stranger to the squared circle, a 6-year veteran, and she has been really, you look at her resume, she has been killing it all around the country. She really has been putting in the work, but now she's starting to make her rounds here in Florida, and it's time for her to step foot in the Last Territory. And like I said, she has that resume. So she's coming in here against our very best right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
You want to come here into the Last Territory and make an impact? Here you go. CCW Women's Championship on the line as Ruthie J, which is such a dangerous competitor. I mean, she's one of the best women we have seen here step foot in the Last Territory. There's been so many amazing women competitors. Not only do you have to deal with her, you always have to deal with Nikki Blackheart, the enforcer,
always
in the corner of Ruthie J. This just seems like Ruthie J is never going to lose. How can you bet against Ruthie J when she has Nikki Blackheart? Because beating Ruthie J is hard enough. Then with Nikki Blackheart in her corner, it seems nearly impossible. But if there's any woman to do it, it seems like it's Dream Girl Ellie, because she's coming in here. She's going to make her debut. She can catch Ruthie J off surprise if Ruthie J has not scouted her out well. And Dream Girl Ellie can become our new CCW Women's Champion on her first night here.
Well, great points. I mean, it's not unheard of, right, for someone just to come in and get they're not necessarily a mystery appointment, but they're unknown to the champion, and they're coming in and they're getting a title shot first match in. I mean, we've seen it. It's happened before. Gail Kim did it, but I can't necessarily just say that that's going to happen this weekend for Miss Dream Girl Ellie. Like you said, Ruthie J is tough competitor, NWA superstar, very hard to beat on a regular day. Never mind when she has her insurance policy, the enforcer Nikki Blackheart in her corner, making sure that she's watching her back. So the cards are stacked against any challenger. So I'm going to go, as I always do, with the champ.
It's hard not to pick the champ. Again, it's just a smart bet to really look at this one and think Ruthie J is going to take it home. But I think, again, it's one of those things where it's like, man, you can't count anyone out in the last territory. Dream Girl Ellie, she keeps her head on a swivel, watches her back from Nikki Blackheart. We might have a new champion. It's the odds don't look great in her favor, but she can pull it out if anyone can. And we got Elliot Crow in the chat. Did I miss them talk about the dogs? Yes, you did, Elliot. Best of luck.
Yes, you did. We only did it for 30 seconds, brother. That's all you got.
Best of luck to Elliot Crow and Farrah Rojas taking on the crown.
Tyler, you're so nice. You're so nice.
It's going to be a big challenge, but I mean, the Raw Dogs are no pushovers. I mean, really, we've been talking about the changing in the foundations, and we talk about taking your opponents seriously. If the Raw Dogs would sit down and take their opponents a little bit more seriously, stop goading and releasing these silly videos online and going and clubbing and partying, maybe the Raw Dogs. Yeah, I mean, Farrah Rojas has these after parties that I'm never invited to, and him and the Raw Dogs, I think if they get their focus back on the matches and hitting that ring and really scouting out their opponents, I think the Raw Dogs could be future CCW Tag Team Champions. But that being said, the crown is going to be a heavy task for them coming up. Tone and Entertainment saying Raw Dogs need more than 30 seconds.
Tony,
I agree. Raw Dogs, they need all of our attention. It seems like sometimes, Tony.
No. We're taking the Raw Dogs very. I'm just all jokes aside. We're taking the Raw Dogs very seriously. Crow, good luck this weekend. But tall order against the crown.
Very tall order indeed. Let's talk about our Southeastern Championship match.
Wow. Speaking of tall orders,
this card is just stacked. I mean, you see some of these singles matches and you just go, wow, with some of them, because Domino, our Southeastern champion, is taking on Leroy Shogun. We have seen Leroy Shogun here in the last territory. He's been in tag team action. He's been in singles action. And this big man can move in that ring, trained by Jay Lethal, really carries himself like an absolute professional when he's in that ring. And he just always goes out there and puts on a show. And he can put anyone's lights out in an instance. And this is another one where Domino, I'm sure, is doing his homework, seeing Leroy Shogun. He's hitting the gym, trying to put on more muscle to try to offset that size advantage of Leroy Shogun. But man, Domino's going to need the whole domination behind him to try to get this victory over Leroy.
Absolutely. I mean, he's super versatile, right? So he's, an excellent singles competitor. And he doesn't usually come alone because he is also a member of the Gifted. They can do tag team, they can do trios, they can do, intergender competition. They can do it all. So I really think that Leroy might be Domino's most well-rounded opponent so far. And like we said, we're no stranger to Leroy Shogun. He doesn't call himself the baddest man on the planet for no reason. So I really think that this is probably going to be one of Domino's toughest defenses. I will say, though, this is Domino's house. This is Domino's yard, especially this venue, especially this town. He's born and raised in Doral. So I think that having the crowd with him, having the crowd behind him always gives him that advantage.
Yeah, that it feels like that anytime we talk about Domino's matches, we always got to talk about that home field advantage. Uh,
Absolutely.
you always see that Bash of the Brew and Tripping Animals in Rumble in the Jungle, but it's starting to grow. That home field
Oh
advantage
yeah.
is starting to take over the whole state of Florida.
Oh
And
yeah.
even outside of the state of Florida, when he went over there to Nashville, Domino got a very warm reception over there in Nashville. The whole domination might be taking over the United States here
He
soon.
brings the vibes everywhere he goes, and people feel that off of him. That's all it is. He brings that genuine energy, and people love that. People flock to it. People are attracted to that. So, Domino, whatever it's called, you got it.
Yeah, he just really is a perfect representation of the 305 out there, always repping it. And I think people really get behind his energy, and especially when it's in his hometown, you know that domination is going to be having the green bandanas. They're going to be
Hmm.
having them fans fanning him down, and he's going to need it because Leroy Shogun, he can do it all. Heavy hitter, he can fly around that ring, he can get
Hmm.
technical. You got to keep everything in front of you when it comes to Leroy Shogun. That is going to be an unbelievable Southeastern Championship match. We'll see if Domino can keep up this streak and really pave out this Southeastern Championship reign of his. But that cannot be the main event because this main event is insane. What a big time singles match, as it is Meadow, the heavyweight champion, taking on Ricky Martinez.
About
Meadow
time.
Meadow win that CCW World Championship, and he has not looked back since. And he is taking on the in-ring veteran of Ricky Martinez. Ricky
Mhm.
Martinez, a household name here in Florida wrestling, household name here in CCW. Now, Ricky has been more focused on tag team wrestling with ERA. I know 5-Star Era, that is their main goal, is to get that tag team gold. Ricky Martinez has never won those tag team championships. But Ricky, when given an opportunity like this,
Oh
and he's
yeah.
so damn good, he of course already deserves the opportunity. You know, just being his tenure and always the performance he puts on. Yeah, he's not
Hmm.
been in singles competition, but give him a heavyweight championship match and everyone's eyes perk up.
Yep.
Everyone's ears perk up, everyone's eyes open, and they're like, okay, we got Ricky Martinez. He can take away Meadows' heavyweight championship in an instant because he's so quick in that ring. He's so crafty, and he is not afraid, of course, to bend those rules and win that match anyway. But Meadow, will he just overpower Ricky? Will he just hit that explosive spear like we saw him hit out of nowhere against Alex Chamberlain? Just he hit Chamberlain with that spear, all of Chamberlain's momentum done. Chamberlain got back up. Meadow hit him with that second spear, and it was over. We're starting to see how important that spear is to Meadow, and how if he hits it, it's pretty much wraps for his opponent. Can Ricky Martinez evade the spear, and can he pull off, some would say, the upset, even though him being a veteran, it's just right now, Meadow is so good.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm saying just it's about time because very happy to see Ricky Martinez in a championship match. I think we've been talking about it the last couple of weeks. He wants gold, and I think that at this point, especially, it doesn't matter if it's tag team gold. I think he'll be just as happy getting a singles championship, especially if it's the CCW Heavyweight Championship. And I think. As we were, as you were mentioning, Tyler, there is it's a bit of a mismatch in terms of size, but not in terms of skill or ability or anything else like that. As we've seen, Ricky is very disciplined. He's a fitness competitor. He's a trainer. Ricky does it. Ricky's really, really into, he's into the weights. He's been bulking up, I'm sure, for this match. And we're also just at a place with Ricky where we could say he deserves it. He absolutely does deserve it. And then on the other side of things, we have Meadow. Meadow, got to watch out for that spear, Ricky, because that spear is gonna come. It'll cut you in half. But also, realistically, with Meadow, just I mean, look at since he's become the CCW heavyweight championship. Excuse me. Just such a change in just the way that he's carrying himself. I think there's just such a confidence that really comes with holding that belt, and he knows that you're really gonna have to pry it from his cold dead hands. And look at the guy. He's chiseled out of stone. Ricky looks great. Meadow does too. Meadow's working out with Miro this week. They look like they're the same size. Huge, huge. So I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna go on and say that the fans are the winner of this match because I
The
can't
fan,
choose.
no, they're definitely the winner of this match. If I had to make a pick for this one, I think that man, it's so hard, but I think you have to go with Meadow right now just because of that momentum. Just like you said, he's won this heavyweight championship, and it just means so much to him. His whole journey to get here, I think Meadow has a slight edge, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw a new heavyweight champion in Ricky Martinez. And this all goes down at Rumble in the Jungle 10. But we said that Rumble in the Jungle 10, it was going to be their anniversary. So it's going to be a big party there at Tripping Animals celebrating their anniversary. And they actually have a special announcement they're going to make there at Rumble in the Jungle 10. So you cannot miss it, not only for the party, for the wrestling action, but there's going to be big announcements made here. So you got to get down to Doral. You got to get your tickets at ccwrestlingfl.com. It all happens this Saturday. But like I said, starting the show, we have a double header that we are not used to because we have a very special two shows coming up when it comes to the All-Stars International Tattoo Festival. Be running November 15th to 17th. It is a celebration of tattoos. It is the biggest tattoo festival in all of Florida happening at the Miami County Fairgrounds. And CCW and All-Star, we partnered up and we got some shows out there we're going to be running. And we got a little bit of a preview for the first night for that Friday. We got some women's action. So this all goes down. Be starting off Friday. The wrestling action will be from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. The convention will be going from 12 p.m. in the afternoon all the way to 10 o'clock at night. So make sure to go out there Friday and hit up the All-Stars Tattoo Convention because you're going to be able to see some CCW action. So let's get it started with women's action as it's Kelsey Reagan taking on Shelly Benson, Chicago's only, I should say, Cowgirl. And this is actually a rematch. And Lisa, you know it as well as anyone does. These two girls do not like each other. They throw down.
I was going to say, well, first and foremost, if a tattoo convention were two people, this is perfect. This is right. This is their show. Just give them the whole show. This is for them. But as you mentioned, I think these two ladies, they're just so different, and I think that at the end of the night we might be having to pry them apart. That's my ending. That's how I think that this is going to end. This is not going to end well. So get ready to get in there, Tyler, in case they need an extra set of hands to pull these two apart.
I'm not jumping in that ring when those two are in there. That's definitely not. We'll let the staff and the referees deal with that one when those two are in there. But that's not all, as we have Elliot Crow taking on Domino for that Southeastern Championship. This, of course, being another rematch. These two, we got some heated rivalries going into the All-Star Tattoo Convention because these two had to be separated a couple months ago at the CCW training facility. Domino has so much history with the Raw Dogs, and now this gives Elliot Crow another chance to go after Domino and try to get that Southeastern Championship. He could spoil Domino's Tripping Animals celebration. Yeah, you can spoil the whole weekend before he even gets to Rumble the Jungle 10. These are really can't miss matches happening at All-Star Tattoo Convention. Then, of course, we got to have some tag team action, and what a tag team match this is, as the Crown
keeps happening,
taking on Jackal and Cha-Cha, these two misfits, it seems like, on this team with Jackal and Cha-Cha. Alicia, they've just been going back and forth, and it's been costing them match after match.
I think they're a tag team now.
They are. It seems like they're a tag team now, but I've never seen a tag team just start bickering as much as those two do. And
I think that's where we are. Okay, I've accepted it. All right, cool. Let's go.
Yeah, it seems like the Crown is on all the momentum, and Jackal and Cha-Cha have no momentum, and really are letting their egos get the best of them, I feel like. And it's going to be a tough challenge for those two to put it all together for the All-Star Tattoo Convention. And we have one more match we're going to announce here on Insider before we let you go, but we have to introduce a special guest. He's returning. He's coming back. We don't have Axel, and just like when my absence was there, he came and took my spot. So now he's taking Axel's spot for the night, and that is none other than Pretty Rich Wise.
Oh my God, he's back.
You didn't tell Lisi I was coming?
No, it's a surprise for everybody.
Who authorized this?
Surprise!
Oh, wow.
Rich,
welcome back, Rich. I'm going to tell you right now before you get started, don't do too much.
You don't do too much. You just watch yourself. Hey, can I just, real quick, you guys were just talking about Jackal and Cha-Cha. Was it not last week or 2 weeks ago, I was on CCW Insider talking about this match? Like you said, Tyler, you weren't there, but Lisi, what did I say about Jackal and Cha-Cha? I said their big egos were going to clash and they weren't going to be able to get along. And it's just funny that you guys were just talking about that right before you brought my beautiful face on.
Wow. It's
Pretty
like you called it foreshadowing.
Pretty Rich Wise, not Pretty Rich Stupid.
There you go. Yeah, you got a crystal ball back there. It just tells you the future.
I got a crystal ball inside my brain, sir. I'm just, I can look at things and tell. Lacey, if you were to get some of that horsehair track out and like loosen it up a little, you might be able to.
Yeah. This is all mine. This is all mine, babes. It's all mine. You wish you had this thickness.
Do you see what I got going on up here? Do you see this beautiful hair?
You wish
maybe it's him, maybe it's me.
The half up, half downs, hiding the bald spots. It's calm. Let's keep going, T.
We're crawling off the tracks here with these two. Listen, we're gonna have to mediate here. Everything is good, guys. Both have beautiful hair. Lisi's a little bit better. Sorry, Rich.
Thank you. Thank you.
But it's not gonna matter about your hair coming up here at All-Star Tattoo Convention. You're gonna need all that wiseness, all that prettiness, all that richness, and all that strength because you're gonna be taking on the Brazilian destroyer Vinicius
this is great.
at the All-Stars Tattoo Convention coming up here Friday. Rich, I mean, what's the game plan going into this one?
I mean, first of all, it's no surprise that they wanted the Sultan of Sexy at the All-Stars Tattoo Convention. One's body is considered a canvas amongst the world, and what better than the best body at Coastal Championship Wrestling to represent there at All-Stars Tattoo Convention. As far as Vinicius goes, I don't know. We were at Bash last week. Me and Van Bruggen tagged up against the South American Alliance, him and Ariel Levy. And things didn't really go the way I wanted to, obviously. Me and Van Bruggen still trying to work out some kinks in our new team. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty rough by the end there. It's glad
he
to see
picked
you guys
me up, right in the middle by my crystal balls and lifted me up and then threw me out into the, almost into the crowd at Bash at the Brew. That's what happened. So I'm back speaking, I was speaking soprano for about a week after he grabbed me like that. I don't know what's wrong with Vinicius. What's wrong with that guy? He should be checked out. That's harassment in the workplace as far as I'm concerned. But I'm going to handle him this weekend. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, yeah, it's the perfect chance to get that revenge against him, Rich. And, he's going to be pretty scary in that ring. I mean, I don't envy you about going up against the Brazilian destroyer, but I'm sure you got a couple of tricks up your sleeves. I don't know if you want to give anything away. Any strategy? Going to chop him down a little bit?
I have a little strategy. Let me think about this. That man, he's self-conscious. That's what he is. Me, I am very confident, obviously. He's self-conscious. You know how I know that? Because he has to wear a mask to hide his ugly fat face. So if he's got something's bothering him about himself and he can't just be proud of who he is, he has to mask himself, then I think I've found my little in and I have a way to beat this man using my cunning.
There you go. He's going to play his mind games like he always does to get the win against the Brazilian destroyer. And, we're talking about the All-Star Tattoo Convention. Obviously, you got the invite. You're covered in tattoos. You got any favorite tattoos on you?
I have my dog Mia tattooed. I don't know if you can really see here. She's riding a gator.
That's unbelievable.
Mia is over there taking a nap. I have a bunch of them. I have Alice Cooper on my leg that I like. I have Lissy's name on my ass.
Wow.
last week.
Do you plan on, while you're there at the All-Star convention, getting any new ink?
Yeah, I was gonna get your name on my other cheek.
On the other cheek, Lisi and Tyler, and then we'll do Insider right above. It'll be perfect.
Right, correct. Insider.
Right there. We got Axel right below as well. I think that's a little bit too much with the tattoo comments, but I think it is really cool that we all get to celebrate. Seeing two styles of the tattoo culture and the wrestling culture coming together at All-Star Tattoo Convention. And Rich, it's awesome to see you get to be out there and represent that wrestling side and get to show people all about it.
3 days. 3 days of this in Miami, and I'm really stoked. So get your tickets if you haven't yet. There's plenty available, I believe. I'm not sure which days aren't sold out yet, but check it out. Hope to see you guys there.
Yes, fans, come check it out. We got a crazy doubleheader coming to you. Stay all over our socials. We're going to be dropping cards for the next day of the All-Star Tattoo Convention. Of course, come over, check out Rumble the Jungle 10. It's going to be a huge celebration there at Tripping Animals Doral. Rich, I want to thank you for coming on, talking about the All-Star Tattoo Convention, talking about your match against the Brazilian Destroyer. Good luck. I feel like you're going to need it against him.
What? Why do you guys got to come at me like this? Like, Lissy hears who I'm facing, and she just ha ha ha. You hear her cackle in the background, and you're just like, "You're gonna need it. Good luck, pal."
Well, I mean, you stepped in the ring.
Positive or in my. Do you guys not like me? Is that the problem?
I feel like sometimes I'm your only defense on this show, but just saying when you're in the squared circle, and I've seen your matches a couple of times when you're in there against the Brazilian Destroyer, things don't usually go your way. So now it's singles competition, but hey, there's always times for a change, and anything can happen in the last territory.
Dude, I have really good hearing. And when I hear the stupid shit that comes out of your mouth, it screws me up sometimes in my match. So I can blame you if I really wanted to, okay?
Like, you even got a thumbs up agreeing with you. Your own stream is agreeing with you.
I don't doubt it. My own. What do you mean my own stream?
I mean, you got these thumbs up going everywhere. I mean, you have your own fans built into it. It's unbelievable.
Doubt it.
Pretty Rich Wise, you have everything going for you. According to you, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna play those mind games, get the win against the Brazilian Destroyer. I wouldn't bet on it, but
okay, Tyler,
you're a self-confident man.
Bye,
Thank
Rich.
you, Pretty Rich Wise.
May the odds be in your favor.
Or whatever you say, Hunger Games. Go eat something.
Thank you, Rich. Always a treat when Pretty Rich Wise is on the show. He always going after us. It's very fun. It's very fun. Always spices things up here a little bit on Insider.
Tyler, don't do that again.
Have to throw some curveballs at Lisi.
Oh man, I thought we were Tyler. You're like my brother.
I got to keep things interesting around here. But that will wrap up Insider for tonight. Fans, like I said, you got to keep up with us on all of our socials. Follow us on the YouTube at CCW Alive TV. Make sure to go ccwrestlingfl.com to get all your tickets. We'll be seeing you guys at the All-Star Tattoo Convention this weekend. We'll be seeing you guys.
Do you have any ink?
No.
It's time. It's time.
If Pretty Rich Wise beats Vinicius, I'll get Pretty Rich Wise's name on me. I'll get that tattooed on me. How about that?
I'm writing this down. Okay. We're lit. Let's go. We'll see you guys this weekend.
So we'll see you guys this weekend. Best of luck to Pretty Rich Wise. Best of luck to all our guys going out there. It is going to be fun. Always fun here in the last territory. And of course, thank you, Lisi, for joining me on another week of Insider.
Thank you, T.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
You have been watching CCW Insider, produced by Minutes to Bell Time in association with Coastal Championship Wrestling.